Guys, we have a breaking news coming out. The Holy Land announces 48-hour transits route out of city. I do believe something big is about to go down pretty soon in this region here. They're giving the people 48 hours to get out of Dodge. The Holy Land Defense Army says a temporary corridor is now open to allow residents of the city to move south. The passage runs along, I'm going to skip that name, street through Wadi, and will remain available for 48 hours from Wednesday, September 17 at 12 until Friday, September 19 at 12. Civilians are instructed to travel only on the yellow mark route shown on the official map and follow direction from security forces and traffic signs. Wow. So 48 hours. You got 48 hours to pack up and leave Dodge. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Thank you again for your support. Information is coming out from the Holy Land military. They're saying the strip, the city, on fire. On fire. So you guys already know a couple of days ago, I think it was September the 15th, Benjamin gave the green light. The Holy Land military is dropping the hammer on the city, the Gaza. So everybody's heading south. All right, so they got 48 hours to get out of Dodge. I do believe something big is about to snap. The Holy Land military said it was opening an additional route for 48 hours that the palace could use to leave the city as it stepped up efforts on Wednesday to empty the city of civilians and confront thousands of those individual combatants. Hundreds of thousands are sheltering in the city, and many are reluctant to follow the Holy Land orders to move south because of dangers along the way, dire conditions, a lack of food in the southern area, and fear of permanent displacement. We have breaking news coming out. I heard that once Donald, the US commander, because right now he's in the UK, once he leaves the UK is going to recognize the two-state solution. Supposedly they're going to announce it. So we're going to see, guys. We're going to see if that's true. But boy, oh boy, there's going to be a lot of things that is going to change. So keep your eyes open on the Holy Land and the Mid-East. Also Europe too. The Roman Empire. Excuse me, European. Even if we want to leave the city, is there any guarantee we will be able to come back? No. Once you leave, that's it. Finito, gone. That city will belong to the commander-in-chief. He said he's going to own it. Will the biblical war ever end? That's why I prefer to DIE here. All right, so that's one of the residents out there. All right, said by phone. So at least 63 were out by Holy Land strikes. GUN fire across the strip on Wednesday, with most of the casual, in the city. And it says here, they said that the latest fatality took the palace toll number for the 2-year war between Holy Land and, who passed 65,000. So far, 65,000 has been out in the strip. Once again, the palace officials and rescue workers say that the true figure is likely higher, as many remains are trapped under the rubble. That's why you have those European against Spain. I mean, they really don't like Benjamin. They really don't like him. Among those taken out were 13, including local TV journalists, skip the name, who medics said were complying with the order to leave the city. Another 5 were out, and dozens were impacted by Holy Land GUN fire near an aid site. Excuse me, guys. The Holy Land military said troops had fire warning, you know what, to remove an immediate threat. The biblical war was triggered by the group HAMAS-led strike on southern Holy Land on October of 2023. Follow me with the code words here, guys. In which about 1,200 were out and 251 taken, according to the Holy Land tallies. So Holy Land estimates about 400,000, or 40% of those who were in the city on August 10 when it announced plans to take control, have already fled. The Strip Media Office says 190,000 have headed south, and 350,000 have moved to central and western areas of the city. Man, I mean, that area is done. It's done. A day after Holy Land announced the launch of its ground offensive to seize control of the region, main urban center, tanks have moved short distances towards the city's central and western areas from 3 directions, but no major advance was reported. Holy Land officials said military operations were focused on getting many to head south, and that fighting would intensify over the next month or 2. The officials said that Holy Land expected around 100,000 to remain in the city, which will take months to capture, and said that the operation could be suspended if a cease plan was reached with, you know who, militant group. The prospect of a cease plan appeared remote after Holy Land struck those group leaders in Doha, Qatar last week. All right, and they were not happy. Qatar was not happy. Qatar called the Holy Land, and they called Donald. And Donald's like, I was not aware, guys. They didn't tell me nothing. Holy Land never say anything. They just do things by surprise and call me at the very last minute. And then I'm being thrown under the bus. It says here, defying global criticism of the strike, including a rebuke by Holy Land, skip that name, the U.S., the Prime Minister, has said Holy Land will strike those group leaders anywhere. It says here, no casualties reported after drone hits. They hit a Youngwon facility. They hit a Youngwon facility. So these group run Gov, Ministry of Health, said Holy Land drone dropped grenades on one floor of the Youngwon's facility on Wednesday. Everybody's okay though. Everybody's okay. Once again, but the ministry said some 40 families took their young ones away. Yeah, they took their young ones out. It was like, you know what? Nah, it ain't gonna happen. Here's the thing, guys. The Holy Land is notorious. They really don't care what they hit. If it's young ones facility, whatever, or school, church, whatever, they will drop the hammer. Man, it's just really sad. It's really sad. There's certain facility that you should not hit. This facility is the only specialist facility for young ones. Young ones with CANCER, or kidney failure, and other issue conditions. They're already going to struggle, and the Holy Land's dropping the hammer right next to it. I mean, come on. But even these gravely young ones are not spared from relentless bombardment. This person said, I'm going to skip his name and information. So the Holy Land military did not immediately respond to a question for comments. Man, this is a very concerning breaking news here. What are your thoughts? Leave comments down below, guys. A leaflet dropped over the city. The militant said Palace could use the nearly reopened road to escape towards the south, and that they had until lunchtime on Friday to do so. But the situation remained chaotic, and warning for civilians who have been streaming away on foot by donkey cart or even vehicles in recent days. Much of the city was laid waste earlier in the war in 2023, but around 1 million Palestinians have returned there to homes among the ruins. Forcing them out would mean confining most of the Strip population to overcrowded encampments in the south, where a hunger event is unfolding, a famine. Now it says here the Holy Land facing international censor over new offensive. So you have multiple nations out there saying that the Holy Land is committing lawlessness. The UN aid groups and foreign gov have condemned the Holy Land offensive and the proposed mass displacement in a separate response to the Strip conflict in general. A UN commission of inquiry concluded on Tuesday that the Holy Land had committed lawlessness in the Strip. The Holy Land called the assessment scandalous and fake. Now it says here the Holy Land forces control the city eastern suburbs and have been pounding 3 areas in the southeast, north, and northwestern coastal area of the city, from which tanks have been pressing towards the center and western areas. Now the Strip is being wiped out. A city that is thousands of years old is being wiped out in front of the entire world. So in this region here, refugee camp, an enclave center, a strike literally destroyed a high-rise building on Wednesday, prompting residents of nearby facility to flee in panic. Palace and UN officials say no place is safe, including in the southern area designated by Holy Land as a humanitarian zone. On Tuesday, an airstrike has taken 5 in a vehicle as they were leaving the Strip for the south. Wow. Again, guys, what are your thoughts? Leave comments down below. But I just saved this information here. Let me see if I could find it. Hopefully I saved it. I have a feeling that I'm saving this information, but it seems like the platform just removes it or something. And I had the information here, guys. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't find it now. It's about the 2 state. Let me read this really quick. I can't show it because of the pictures. Just then, Starmer, the Prime Minister of UK, and King Charles III told the US leader that Britain will recognize the Palestinian state this weekend, following the US commander return to the US. That's again, that's a big breaking news there, guys. That is a big breaking news there. So prepare for a major announcement. Prepare for a major announcement. I do believe there's going to be a huge announcement. And again, remember, guys, I told you September to remember. There's been a lot of stuff that happened in the month of September. The blood moon, Charlie Kirk, the Holy Land going into the Strip. Then you got the two-state. And everybody's talking about Jesus returning September 23rd. September to remember. A lot of things are happening. And one thing I tell you guys, when it comes to September 23rd, don't get your hopes up, because Jesus said no one knows the day or hour. That right there is to silence everything. That is the word of Jesus Christ. Please try to understand that word. It's from Jesus. No one knows the day or hour, not the angels, but only the Father. Only God knows. Everybody else, you guys just making a fool out of yourself with these prediction of the dates. No one knows the day or hour. Jesus said those words. That should end all this debate stuff going on September 23rd. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please share the video. Till next time later. Peace.